can you write numbers in scientific notation and take them out of scientific notation, but what about adding and subtracting them? This practice here, addition and subtraction, just says that the exponents have to be the same. It's just like algebraic x's and y's. You can't subtract x, like 2x squared from 1x. They have to have the same exponent. So the numbers times 10 to the have to be the same exponent. In some cases, you may have to change that. Okay? So to subtract them, I usually, again, try to put them over each other, so that also helps me to get the significant figures correct. So if I have 3.2 and 2.4, I'm going to move this one underneath, and it'll look like this. So when I subtract these, I get that 2.96 from that subtraction. And I made this second one larger because this one was not in the same exponent. I made this become a 4. When I change that exponent 3 by 1 larger, then I'm going to have to make the number 1 decimal place smaller. If this gets 1 bigger, this has to get 1 smaller, and that's how I made this change over here. Then I subtract them and get my answer, but I also have to say, what column does my accuracy stop? It stops after the 9. So before I throw the 6 away, I say, oh, that's 3.0 times 10 to the 4th. Now, those are a couple of steps. You got to make sure the powers are the same, and if you're going to change the exponent of 10 by however many places, 1, 2, or 3, then your decimal has to move in the opposite direction 1, 2, or 3 places. Okay? So that's how you're going to subtract those, and on the worksheet you're going to get some practice here doing exactly that. The multiplication and division actually is much easier. I find that you can just actually save tons of time and not actually put in all the exponents. Don't take and put 4.1 and then the times button and 10 to the 4th. What ends up happening is that you make mistakes when you include the times 10 to the power in the multiplication. You will find that you accidentally hit some wrong buttons. And so what I tell students, multiply your numbers, and then just because you're adding the exponents in multiplication, multiply the numbers and then just say it's automatically going to be times 10 to them. And you're just going to add those up. 4 plus 3 is the 10 to the 7th. So in your calculator, you can do this portion of the calculation. 4.1 times 2.0. 4 times 2.1 is 8.2. So, and then I just add up the exponents to get 10 to the 7th. What's nice is that that will absolutely make your homework happen so much faster if you get used to the times 10 to the in your head by just adding or subtracting the exponents, okay? Division is the same thing, but you're going to divide the numbers. 1.5 over 3 is actually 0.5. It's a half. And then the number 10 to the 5th divided by 10 to the 3rd is the 5 minus 3, or 10 squared. So those two examples there are good ones to get you used to what's on the worksheet to keep practicing, okay? The numbers are there. Just write them out to the right decimal and stack them over each other.